Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
And welcome to Alternating. We're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm film school dropout Robert Jarsinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer Carrie Jarsinski and our very own critic in residence Tim Brayton. We're back.
We are back indeed.
3 weeks of break.
It's been that long.
Yeah. No, 3. It's 3 total.
Okay.
All right.
It doesn't feel that long to you?
Oh, it feels a long time.
I mean, it feels like it was yesterday to me. I was so busy with school work.
We had to come back because it's summer movie
Summer's
season.
coming up.
Yeah, summer's here. We're bringing our anticipated movies of summer.
Avengers has just inaugurated summer a week early.
Have you seen it?
It doesn't feel
I did
right.
see it.
I saw it.
We all saw it.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be holding that one back because we got a lot of summer content to cover. We're going to be talking about our summer box office picks, predictions, also our most anticipated movies of the summer. So not a whole lot of time to fit in anything else. So we're going to be holding back
That's
Avengers.
what she said.
Which
She said
part?
both of them.
All of those
Not at the
things.
same time.
We're going to be holding back Avengers, talking a little bit about it, spoiling it on our Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, be sure to check that out. But first, Tim, what did you end up doing during your time off? A little meditation?
Well, I wrote. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and then I wrote so hard that I broke my computer.
That's
So yeah, I killed a laptop. My laptop died just last night. So
okay.
When I asked you that question earlier, your answer was much more vulgar than that.
Well, I'm trying to protect the delicate ears of the children who are undoubtedly listening to and enjoying our film podcast.
How many reviews has all of your reviews been written primarily on that particular device?
Many of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
I've had several computers since I started writing reviews. Certainly most of the reviews written for this site have been written on that laptop.
Okay.
Are you going to be able to recover it, do you think?
I don't know. We're going to find out. I've already bought a replacement, but it will probably be the case for at least the next few days.
You going to take it to the Geek Squad?
I'm going to take it to the Apple shop down on Willie Street here in
Probably
Madison.
more reliable than the Geek Squad.
Probably. Apparently the Geek Squad is like there's like some sort of like CIA thing involved. I don't know exactly what the details are, but apparently the Geek Squad's like shady and you shouldn't go there. But yeah, so I've got to say that potentially this is going to impact my presence on our site for a little bit. I would have already had a review of Avengers written, but I was dealing with my computer last
Glowing,
night,
I'm sure.
Pristine.
It's
review.
probably your favorite you've ever seen.
It's my favorite work of art. It officially replaces the Sistine Chapel ceiling as my favorite thing produced by humans.
Yeah. Or what's the other one? Joan of Arc. Passion of Joan of Arc. That one just goes in the can after a movie like this.
You know what Joan of Arc doesn't do?
Tell me.
She doesn't fight Thanos.
True.
She just suffers. God just is like, she just listens to God.
We'll save that for this. I had a good comeback for that, but it was a spoiler. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save it.
This is exactly why we are doing it as a spoiler.
You're right.
Because we were concerned
You're right.
that you might not be able to keep your yap shut.
Well, we
You're
were
right.
busy watching movies as well. So while we're not doing a worth mentioning, I'm curious, how many movies, Care, have you seen since our 3-week break?
How many is a lot?
In our 3-week
And
break.
what would be the number that you were like, wow, that's awesome, Carrie?
Well, I will say this. I have seen 18 and I feel like I wasn't doing
Your
load,
job.
my load.
You're okay. I saw 13.
Wow. I would have guessed like 6 to 8 because that's what you typically
My typical.
track
I tried to like really push through on this one. I saw a lot of real poopers on the last couple of weeks, but I saw a couple that were really good. So yeah, 13.
Tim, I also saw 18.
Hey!
So it
We
is
should
a
form a club. We're better than Carrie Club.
I feel like you already established that a long time ago.
No, I mean, typically I feel like I side with you against Rob.
That's
This time
true.
I'm gonna
That's
side
true.
with Rob
That's true.
against you.
All right, well, let's get into our, we're skipping our worth mentioning. We're going right into our summer
Right into
because
the box office.
we have a lot to cover. Normally we would tell you how our spring movies fared, but Stupid Tim and Carrie both
I beg your pardon, sir. I beg your pardon, sir.
Kind of rude.
Lean on Pete came
Lean
out.
on Pete is now in theaters in Madison.
Oh, I guess it's not May 1st yet.
No, it is not.
So technically, that is still a spring movie, but Tully, Care, and Overboard
Tully's going to be good.
ruined it
It's
for
also going to
everybody
be
else.
a summer movie.
It's when does it release again?
It releases on Friday.
Oh yeah.
May 4th.
No, May 4th still counts.
Is what, spring?
It's spring.
No, May 4th. I mean, everything is weird and fucked up now because the Avengers moved, but I think historically the first weekend in May is not considered spring.
It is
I mean,
for me.
historically it is, but like that shifted back in like.
Am I going to see
late
Tully and
90s.
Overboard on your top 5 summer list as well too, Kara?
I'm a purist. I'm keeping them off the list,
I
even though they
appreciate
may
that.
have made it. But
I appreciate
no,
that.
I picked some other gems that I found out there.
So
I mean, I don't think anything this summer is going to be worse than Overboard, so I'm sure your summer list will be better than your spring list.
I found some other ones,
All right.
so we'll see.
So, Kara, tell us a little bit about top 5 box office predictions. That's something that we're doing for the first time this year, where we're going to be talking about our top 5 box office in rank order 5 to 1, as well as predicting
There's
what
an order?
Oh, well, 5 to from 5th to
Okay.
the first.
So what's the first one?
The one that you will think will be the
Most
least 5th.
successful.
In my
Fifth
in my head, it's easier to go through the list if we start at 1, because that is the way I wrote it down.
Okay.
So 1 being the thing that's going to be the most
the highest
successful.
grossing film of the summer.
And I know you guys were like, this is actually very easy, and you're worried your lists are going to overlap.
Absolutely
Right?
going to overlap.
I would be shocked if Rob and I don't have the same top 2, 4, and in more or less exactly the same order.
We're not
Man.
gonna overlap in order because I took a risk. I feel like in this type of contest to
Yeah.
win, you need to go outside
I
the
took
box,
a risk.
but just a little bit. I did.
Okay.
Hotel Transylvania 3 is not going to be the highest grossing film.
Is
of the
that
summer.
out there? I didn't even see
That's
that
coming out in
one.
July.
Shoot.
It plays into my list. I'll tell you why when we get there.
You guys are making me a little bit nervous. So here's what I did. I just looked at all of the movies that are coming out from May 5th to August 31st, because those were your dates.
But you
right?
apparently managed to miss Hotel Transylvania 3.
I did miss that one, but just that one. And then I was like, okay, I went through the whole list and I was like, what names do I actually know? Pulled those off, narrowed it to 6.
All right.
And then I just picked 5 for this contest.
All right.
Very academic.
Does it feel like I'm going to win?
Well, that depends on what your 5
How did you
are.
come up with your numbers then?
So here's what I did. This is where I actually got really scientific. I know the first part didn't sound like it was, but here's where I got really scientific. Then I went in, I looked at the previous movie that came before it, if there was one, if applicable, which there happened to be applicability for all of my movies. And then I went with what they made, counted for inflation from then till now, 10% increase because I think more people are going to the theaters lately than they were a couple years ago. And then I did 4% less for being a sequel because no one likes a sequel.
About 4% less. They
About 4%.
They like it about 4% less.
That's what I kind of felt
Yeah.
for me personally. And then that's how I got to what it's going to
I
make.
like that you're systematic, and I feel that you are going to have wildly inflated numbers, but I like that you're being systematic.
Yeah, it feels like that. Here's my other question. Are we going off of the amount that they make opening weekend?
No, domestic.
Domestic,
over the course
right.
of
Over the basically, like pragmatically, it'll be before Labor Day, but over the course of their release.
So not just that opening weekend. No, yeah. Good thing
'Cause-
I didn't do that.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we're going to make up some numbers then as we go. Good.
Here we go.
Multiply
So-
everything by 3, and that'll
If
get you in the ball.
That's actually a
I know.
very true
So I'm going to
opening-
just that's okay.
opening weekend
Then
multiplier.
If that's the case, I'm going to go with my number one, my most successful.
Are we doing that? We're going number one
going
first?
in?
I think
don't wanna-
it'll be a little bit easier to like keep a handle on the numbers.
Okay, but I'm going to do a little test sample.
right.
So I'm going to tell you the amount I think it's going to make, and if you think it's way low, I'm going to times it by 3. Okay.
This is the surefire one.
Okay.
This is the one. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm curious.
shoot.
Let's see.
All right. Is it continuing on with the Star Wars theme? Solo? Han Solo?
Han Solo's going to be way up there.
Is it going to be number 1?
No,
I think it might be.
it is not. But I like your enthusiasm for
Tell
it.
us why it will be number
Because
one.
the other one that came right before it made $1.3 billion. Does that feel right?
That feels.
Does it feel low?
Feels like
that
not
feels
domestic.
Like you are looking at the international figures.
It could be. I could be. So, what if I told you I think it's going to make $1.47 billion?
In the United States.
Yes.
I think that if
And
that
the surrounding
happens,
areas, United States and surrounding
United
areas.
States and Canada,
And
it's gonna make
surrounding every country.
$1.47 billion.
Does it feel high?
It feels
high.
marginally high.
I meant $700 million.
Down,
Still lower.
down.
Keep going lower.
$300
Okay,
million.
we'll stick with $300 million for Solo.
You're in the ballpark.
A Star Wars.
So I don't want to do my numbers anymore. So I'm going to divide all my numbers by 3. All right. Here we go. So that's my number 1. Then I think the next one is going to be Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yep. All right.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah,
Could
well, I'm
be.
not disclosing. Yeah.
Okay. That one I think is probably going to make less than $1.6 billion.
I agree with that.
Probably more like $250 million.
Okay.
And then the next one I think is
I
going
hope
to
you're recording these so that we can check them against the actual performances. We'll have it on tape.
Yeah,
so we can
it's on
listen
tape.
back.
No, let's not go back. Then I think it's going to be The Incredibles 2
All right.
at roughly $400 million.
Okay.
Well, so
That is-
Yep.
that's
I see what
more.
you're gonna. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. I would say roughly $249 million.
I was
on that
actually
one.
going to say that was the first one that you said that I think has any vague chance of being accurate.
Okay.
So you can
Thanks
stick with
for
400
that.
if you want. But
Thanks. So I'll say 400.
Well, you have to make it your number 3 though, right?
Yeah, we'll think about that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next one is Deadpool 2.
All right.
Going to be at number 4, roughly 300 million.
All right.
It's around there. And then
has to be less than.
hey man,
Oh, no,
I'm
we're
doing
not-
math
we're-
on the fly
oh, we're not doing
here.
the numbers.
We'll
do numbers
just
later.
alter the top number on hers until it all
Work
works
it
out
backwards.
For the right
Got it.
Thanks. Do that equation I gave you earlier with inflation and stuff, and then
4%.
Remember
Right.
how Solo is going to make $1.2 billion.
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
It feels less right. Then my last one is Mission Impossible in number 5.
All right.
At making maybe
Interesting. Very interesting.
$230 million.
Okay.
I knew this was going to be a lot of overlap. Carrie, you and I have the same. We don't have them in the same order. We have the same top 4.
Really?
We do.
But one's different.
Number 5 is different.
Wait, different order, you said.
Oh yeah, so we got a different order.
Okay, so run through yours.
So my number 1 is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Man, it's going to be.
I just see no possible way that doesn't happen. The first Jurassic World, massive film, set the opening weekend record for not very long, and by not very much, but it did set the record. This is going to fall. It is definitely going to fall from the
Fallen
first
Kingdom?
one. Fall. Yes, exactly. No, Fallen Kingdom is going to fall from the first one. So I have it making $500 million in the U.S., which is, here's how I got there. It's less of a decline than the Lost World Jurassic Park had from Jurassic Park, because I think it's going to be better received than the Lost World. My number 2 is Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Yes.
Which I feel is going to establish what the lowest amount of money a Star Wars film can make right now. And for me, I think this is likelier to be high than low, because I was really trying to figure out what's the most it can make its opening weekend, and it surely won't do more than 3 times that. So I have it making $415 million. I think that's probably likelier to be high than not. My number 3 is The Incredibles 2.
Yeah, right.
Which is clearly going to improve over The Incredibles 1, just because The Incredibles 1 is 14 years old. So inflation's going to kick in. Also, a lot of people who found it on home video. I still think it cannot possibly hit Toy Story 3 levels. So I've got it at $370 million.
But maybe people are craving a Pixar animation film, and maybe you're going to get a lot of people that come out to see it.
That's the thing. Pixar films have a pretty natural ceiling of about 300, 320.
Okay.
If they're very well received. Inside Out, I think, didn't quite hit 300. Coco barely broke 200.
So what are you saying for this one?
I'm saying 370.
Whoa.
I'm going bullish. I feel like that's on the high end.
Okay.
It's I
I
think
feel like this is so awkward not to, I have to hold my tongue because I can't, I have things to say.
yeah. My number 4 is Deadpool 2.
Wow.
Which I think is going to decline a little from
Okay.
Deadpool 1, because I think a lot of people, I think the first
that
one
one
had
made
novelty.
$783 million.
It made
Internationally.
300
internationally. So a third of that.
It made 363.
It made 363.
363.
So I think that there's the novelty factor. So people who saw the first one and hated it, of course, are not going to go back. I have Deadpool 2 at $330 million.
Okay.
And lastly, and for me, it was between 2 films, and Mission Impossible was my other one. So Mission Impossible is my
I know
number
which one you
6.
put now.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I did not know what one you had now.
We're clearly, Marvel is riding high. People are going to fucking go apeshit for whatever happens after Infinity War. Now, that being said, the first Ant-Man didn't do huge, giant numbers by Marvel standards. I think it's going to land somewhere between Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok.
Who plays Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd.
He does?
He does.
If I had known that, I would have gone.
There you go. But yeah, so I'm sort of setting it somewhere broadly between Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok, and the number I settled on was 280 million.
Okay.
Wow. Tim, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're wrong with your top 5. Right movies, wrong numbers.
So you have the same exact
I don't
five?
have the right. I don't have exactly the same movies. I actually have the same exact movies as Carrie in a wildly different order, and hopefully with
Interesting.
more accurate numbers, which shouldn't be too difficult.
More accurate should not be.
You guys
difficult.
watch out. I'm
But
going to win this.
let me tell you why, Tim, your numbers are a little bit off. You've predicted your top 5 movie, your 5th movie will have $280 million. The last 3 years, the top 5 movies of the summer have yielded $1.8 billion in total, in aggregate, and on average. So the total of my 5, they've never exceeded 1.9 million. So that's like the ceiling. So you have to kind of add up those numbers, the top 5, unless you're expecting. Actually, that's.
So I'm at about 1.8. It looks like 1.7.
You're at 1.8?
Something like that.
I was
Okay,
at
well, then
1.8
you're in the
for my
ballpark
first
there.
movie, so yeah.
All right. Other interesting thing.
Okay.
You only need to go back to 2015 when you've had a Jurassic Park movie, an Avengers movie, a Pixar movie, a Mission Impossible movie, and an Ant-Man movie, all released in the same year. So you can kind of go back to 2015 to understand relative performance. So starting off with my number 1, I line up with Tim. Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom. Have to. First one made $652 million.
But how
I
come?
went with Tim's
but
drop
Jurassic, the last Jurassic movie
Jurassic
didn't do
World.
as well as the last Star Wars movie.
The last Star Wars movie
is not a standalone.
There's 2 brands of Star Wars movies. Let's say there's episodes and stories.
What other stories have there been?
Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue
which
One.
did well. It did a half a billion.
Solo is
domestic.
going to do less than Rogue One.
I
That
don't
is
know.
a fact.
TBD.
That's about as good as it could possibly do if it was amazing. And the trailers and
the trailers
all
are not generating
background.
online hype.
I mean, I'm not going to see it
about
for sure, but now I will because I want to add to the money that it's going to make.
But Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom, the last one made 652. I'm not excited to see it. The trailers aren't doing it. I'm with Tim. The 36% drop off that The Lost World had from the first Jurassic Park, it's not going to be that much of a fall off. That would have been a $418 million movie. I'm putting it at exactly your half a billion.
Half a bill.
I will
coming
say
out June 22nd. One thing. We didn't give dates, but since we all have the same films, it doesn't really matter. I will say that the most recent trailer makes it look like this film might be so bad it's good that I'm actually more excited than I have been the entire time that this film has been in production. So maybe we'll see.
Here's where Karen and I line up on I think you had The Incredibles number 2. Is that where you had it?
No,
She had
at
number
3.
2. She had number 3.
Okay. This is where I reach for it a bit. I realized the odds are against me, but this is my reach to try to win this contest. Is I think other than Hotel Transylvania 3, there is not a cartoon movie in sight for all ages, an all ages family movie. Obviously, superheroes are a big deal. We're going to be wanting to take the girls to see something.
We'll go see it for sure.
I've been waiting personally, people in their 30s and 40s, and we've been waiting 14 years for a sequel. Finding Dory is the closest sequel that has made the type of money that it would need to fall in this number 2 spot. Finding Dory made $486 million.
Oof.
And Tim, you weren't even excited about Finding Dory.
No, I think to this day I don't think Finding Dory is very good, but I think that Finding Dory is clearly going to outperform Incredibles. I don't see any way.
I have it coming in at $400 million.
Why is that though? Why would Finding Dory outperform The Incredibles?
Because Finding Nemo was a massive record-setting film.
The thing is, I'm more likely to take a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old to go see Finding Dory, possibly, than I would to go see.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Limit your audience
That's a fair point.
Slightly. Toy Story, same thing. I would take a 3-4-year-old.
Sure.
But this one, I think, is going to have repeat viewings. 14 years pent up, wanting to see this.
So here's for me why I ended at 370. I feel like The Secret Life of Pets represents the ceiling for what a giant animated breakout that doesn't have some really specific cultural zeitgeist thing happening.
That one wasn't Pixar though, was it?
No, that was Illumination. That made 368, and I feel like that's the level we can look for Incredibles. But maybe that's just me. We'll see.
Number 3, that's why I have a kind of a switcheroo here with the rest of you, is Solo, a Star Wars story. I think the best it could possibly do is Rogue One numbers, and that's if it were great, which is half a bill. It's not going to.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it could possibly do Rogue One.
No. So I have it coming in at 375.
Okay. That's probably a bit more realistic than mine. The way I look at it, what is it going to make over its opening weekend? And I don't see how that number can possibly be higher than 140. Not a possibility. the most it can possibly do is 3 times that, which puts us at 420, and that's like best case plus best case.
Yep.
And I'm getting pretty close to that, so like I probably am over predicting it for sure.
And what did you all have at number 4?
Deadpool 2.
I have we all line up.
Yep.
Deadpool 2. Now, have you heard? So it comes out May 17th. So it's got a long summer ahead of it. So it can accumulate a lot. Last one made 363, and this one has 150 million in pre-sales. I think a lot of those pre-sales are the people who saw it the first time. So I don't think it's going to have as big of a multiplier.
I want you to cite that $150 million number.
I could have sworn I just read that.
I don't think the Avengers had 150 million in pre-sale, and Avengers was like a record-setting comic pre-sale.
I'm pretty sure it had 150 million. I have 150 million pre-sales ! Question mark.
I think the question mark needs to be more thoroughly underlined than the exclamation
Maybe 2 question
point.
marks.
Here's the thing, too. Interestingly enough, anybody pick up that Josh Brolin is in 3 major movies this summer?
Oh, what's the third?
Day of the Soldado.
Sicario. Are we calling that major?
That's a fairly big movie.
Is it?
3 summer movies.
It's getting a wide release.
It's really big for Rob.
Yeah.
It's really big for Rob.
So
I guess we know what Rob's number 1 was.
Right.
I can't picture it. I think a little bit of the novelty has worn off with the Deadpool, with its R rating and curse words and kind of playing off superhero cast, like the whole Ryan Reynolds thing. So I have it at 350. I think it's going to do really, really well, and I'm kind of hoping for it too to do pretty well. And then I have Mission Impossible.
That's what I had.
Last one. All had Mission. Oh no, I had
Ant-Man.
You had Ant-Man. Now, I would be guaranteeing Mission Impossible Fallout at number 5 had it not been for its release date. Its release date gives me some concerns of July 27th. It doesn't have as long of a time frame to get as much money.
Is that not the exact weekend that Rogue One opened?
I don't know. Well, we're cutting off our contest like Labor Day.
Not Rogue One, Rogue Nation.
Rogue
Yeah, well, I mean,
yes, it's
we're cutting
Rogue
off
Nation.
our contest when an answer can be provided.
Rogue Nation came out like 2 weeks earlier in the summer.
What I would say
In Ghost Protocol.
We should know by Labor Day if Fallout has a chance. If it does, we will not close the contest until we know.
I have it coming in at 200 million.
Okay.
Feels about right.
See, that's the thing. I feel like 200 million is what it will make, because that's like the Mission Impossible films have clearly set their ceiling, and it's about 210.
So you're very ambitious
I'm saying that Ant-Man is not the film. It has not set its sequel. Every Marvel sequel other than Age of Ultron has increased from its predecessor. Actually, that might not be true. Guardians might not have. No, I think Guardians
was
did.
Ant-Man at 180? Am I right?
Ant-Man was at 180.
180. Yeah, I just can't see it making an extra 100 million.
I can certainly see it making an extra 30
unless
million.
somehow they tie in, which we'll get to, a little bit of what happened in Infinity War somehow into this.
I
I'd
not only think they will, I think I know what that tie-in will be.
I have no idea. I'm
The
just
ants are coming.
I feel like people will be a little burnt out.
No.
You're going to go see Ant-Man?
I have
disagreeing
given up
with me on trying to help our
hoping.
case.
Oh, right.
I have given up hoping that people will burn out on Marvel movies. Like, I've been waiting for it to happen for 6 years, and they just love them.
Is anybody excited about Ant-Man?
I mean, I'll
Have you
go
seen the
see
first one?
it. No, I did. I don't know why I missed it though, which is weird. When you're saying that,
I don't really care. I don't really care about Evangeline.
what's his
Lily,
power? Does he like throw ants at people?
He can summon ants.
He can summon ants. So
He
he
shrinks.
summons
He gets
ants.
small.
Oh,
He gets very
people
small.
underestimate the amount of the ability of shrinkage.
This is the purpose of the plot of Ant-Man. You're very proud of having said shrinkage. I can tell.
I'm just not excited to see it.
We'll see.
Well, I
Do
guess
we
we
need
will
to
see.
talk any more about the contest? Does it feel like
I've got some updates on the contest. And before we head to a break, we have a ton of things going on, like the contest. If you're interested in playing along with us, shoot us which movies you think will be top 5 at the summer box office, excluding Avengers.
Excluding Avengers, it is not a summer movie.
starting
It is a spring movie.
as of the 5th,
So
right?
films opening as of the 5th. We're looking
5th or 4th.
4th. Yes, this is
Fourth.
like the 3rd time I've made that mistake in a public forum. So any film opening in North America, this is U.S. domestic box office. So
Don't do what Carrie did.
Don't do what Carrie did. Don't try to go for international numbers. So the U.S. domestic box office films opening in the United States and Canada as of May 4th.
Yeah.
Have your emails into us by that day.
Yeah, not only the movies in rank order, but also the dollar amounts
How
of
much they're
box
gonna make,
office.
because as you can tell, there's going to be a lot of overlap. So that's going to be where we really start to hone in on.
As an additional tiebreaker, how much Avengers you think will make? We didn't really talk about that. How much
That's not going to be an issue for us.
Okay.
Because we clearly are going to have, because we all have different orders, and Carrie has wildly different numbers.
But for the folks that are playing along on the site, there's a tiebreaker out there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How much money will Avengers make
In its run.
after May 4th?
Oh, after me.
So the money it makes its first week does not count. How much is it going to
Sneaky.
make after its first week?
I have a number.
Really
in mind.
sneaky.
I have a number in mind too. But
Yeah, so play
I think
along.
we should not share those numbers because we don't need them for the tiebreaker, and I don't think we should give any
And what
more
will you receive for all this hard work of sending us that email? A free Blu-ray copy of whatever movie ends up actually topping the box office in the summer.
So you're going to get a solo
Well,
I was
DVD.
going to say, can I propose that we maybe say, like, you get $25 towards a Blu-ray? Because if I heard that my prize was going to be to win Jurassic World, I don't think I'd enter the contest.
Fair enough. The equivalent.
Play
the
along
equivalent
anyway.
Amount.
Let us say you get
I like the
you get
$25.
whatever film in the summer's top 10.
Oh,
you
I like
want.
that. Your choice.
So an Overboard DVD.
Sure. Sure.
Also, before we head to a break, we announced our fundraiser before we went on our 3-week extended sabbatical to help keep AE running, as well as add some cool features we have planned. We were targeting $400 a month, and I'm happy to say we're on our way to our first goal. We've had a couple of anonymous donors, so I think we're actually at that $400 a month hurdle. So the
So you can
Patreon
keep
is a little bit...
feeding your children.
Yes, that's very
Nice.
important. Making sure Abby and Alice grow up and
Nourished.
well nourished.
Tim's also needs to be nourished, too.
But now
so.
we're looking to take that next step. We're looking to bring out an exclusive members corner to our website and bring on some additional contributors. That's kind of the next levels of the rewards that we're hoping to bring, so we can keep giving you great new content every single day. In return, on our Patreon site, we're doing spoiler alert segments, and we just released a sneak preview of a promotional video, and we'll be sharing the Avengers spoiler alert.
So we will be this very week. We will have an Avengers spoiler alert bonus for our Patreons.
Hint, 5 stars from Tim.
If you love the site, we'd love for you to consider donating to our Patreon or Paypal links. They're on the site. Go check them out at alternateending.com. Just like many of our newest contributors have. Joseph, Mayberry, Rachel Simmons, Margaret, Haley, Mark McComas, and Sarah L., who joined on our Razzie Awards, entitling them to this shout out and all the exclusive content. Picking up our Sundance Awards, Dan Prestwich and R.W. Lovejoy. Critics' Choice, Julia Eastwood, and our Golden Globe reward, Carter Smith picked that up.
Nice.
What's Golden Globe again?
Golden Globe is taking control of the site, getting to pick the topic for an entire episode.
All right.
Yeah, so a lot
Do
of...
we know what that's going to be
No,
yet?
it's gonna.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay,
keep
sorry.
We're gonna keep it a little secret.
It'll be a surprise.
So thank you all for the continued
Yes,
support.
thank you, one and all.
Also want to thank our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com, click on the Amazon banner, and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode, here were the things that were purchased. Had a Cartman, not the South Park, but Cartman. Well, maybe it is Cartman Orange, because it's orange. 39-piece tool set. That'd be cool if it was like tools
Is
somehow.
it Craftsman?
That's just Cartman.
I think it's
It
Craftsman.
sounds like someone's made in an East Asian sweatshop version of Craftsman.
We also had
I mean, I say that as though Craftsman is not itself made in a sweatshop.
It is.
so.
It is.
We also had some books purchased. Pixar storytelling rules for effective storytelling.
Pixar knows a thing or two about effective
know how to do
storytelling.
that really
right.
well. Had some Jet Tech wireless FM transmitter. It's that kit you get for your phone, so that you can listen to for your car, so you can listen to the music on your phone, on your smartphone,
Okay.
through the radio, that sort of thing.
All right.
Had stop motion explosion complete HD stop motion animation kit.
Fuck, I hope that was a present for me from my mom. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
That sounds awesome.
Someone
Whoever
lo-
got that, someone loves you.
Someone lost their Xbox 360 power adapter, so they picked up a new one. A Super Nintendo Classic Control extension cable.
Nice.
The 10-foot
Someone
2-pack.
in our age group.
Yes. High-speed HDMI cable. Need that for nice clarity. Some sugar-free Eclipse polarized gum. We've been gone for 3 weeks, so this is gonna be a lot of stuff. Royal Blue Stretch Velvet Fabric, 60 inches. Red Hot Red cardstock. I like it. What are you printing up? Kindle ebooks. Kindle ebooks. How to write for television. Also, Inside the Room. writing television with the pros at UCLA Extension Writers Program.
All right.
Yeah.
Kindle ebook Universal Terrors, 1951 and 1955. A meat thermometer. Gotta
Yeah,
make sure your
need
meat's-
that.
Measure
your
meat.
meat's hot.
165 for pork.
Is that true? That sounds about right.
Does that feel right?
That feels
It's
really
the
I
super
feel like my
long,
box
it's the
office
super
number is
long
right.
probe.
Yeah, a super long meat probe, exactly the kind I need.
Also a Hario V60 glass range server. Some
What's a
luggage.
Hario?
Hario's the brand name.
Oh, okay.
Of the glass range
Speaking of
server.
Harry,
I know
and
you-
meat thermometers.
Care, we need new luggage. This is a 52-inch
I know.
dress length carry-on garment. 52. You could carry on a 52-incher?
Speaking of 52 inches,
We had some music purchase as well, some Bach. We had some Strange Mercy, Mass Seduction, Elton John, and some stars.
Have I told my Arnold Schwarzenegger joke about his favorite music?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I'll be back.
Okay,
I guessed
all right.
it last time.
Keep going on.
No worries. Pet supplies.
See, Tim didn't
Chow
remember.
Tim remembers. Chow
I don't
churro
remember, probably
lickable.
because it was not worthy of. Anyways,
Tim, does your cat have this? Chow churro lickable puree creamy cat treat.
that actually was my mother buying a birthday present for my cat. Which
Nice.
was April 23rd.
Oh, I
Happy-
feel so
happy
bad that I
birthday.
missed it. I should have got her a
You
mug.
miss birthdays up, down, and sideways. That's your thing.
I know.
Also, Taste of the Wild Sierra Mountain Grain-Free Protein Real Meat Recipe. Oh, the lamb.
That's
The lamb
if you
dog
love
food.
your pet.
That is.
Yep.
That's lamb.
We also had some video games. A Super NES Classic. I think that's
Probably
like the
to go
whole-
with the controller.
To go with the controller. Instant video. Hail Caesar. We didn't talk about much about Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar's a good.
I
Well,
liked it.
that was before our time.
That was
Matt
before our
Damon?
time. All 3 Toy Stories on Amazon Instant Video.
Wow.
And this is Spinal Tap. Kara has
Nice.
not seen that mockumentary. Very good stuff.
Is it?
I like it.
It's one of the classic
Turn it up to
comedies of the
11.
80s.
Spinal Tap?
Yes.
I always thought that was a horror film.
On
It is
DVD, The Thing, the Blu-ray edition. I'm hoping the
Is that the original with the dog?
I think both have dogs,
They
but
both
I know
have
what you're
dogs,
talking
but
about.
The dog she's referring
Yeah.
to is in the original.
Some Fritz Lang silent films on
Nice.
Blu-ray. My
Wait,
name,
there's a Fritz Lang on Silent Films Blu-ray?
that's what it says.
I need to get that.
My neighbors, the Yamadas on Bluray DVD combo set.
Someone celebrating the passing of Takahata.
And little Pompoko.
Same thing, Takahata.
And then a DVD of Thelma.
Are
Not
you
sure.
celebrating?
Oh yeah, that's a Welcome Trio film. I think I reviewed it.
Okay. And also an Amazon free trial. That helps us out a lot. Thank you all for your purchases. When we get back, our top 5 anticipated movies of the summer.
Huzzah.
And welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 anticipated movies, Care. Very different, or maybe not, from box office. What is your? How does your list shape up? What do you got at number 5?
So I've got the 5.
Okay. And we're set on dates, right? We know it's May.
The May 5th through August 31st.
Yep.
Sure. I went
Ish.
through Labor Day. I don't know if I needed to.
Okay.
I hope you didn't.
That changes
Real
things a
excited
bit.
for Kin, are we?
Kid looks pretty good. We just saw the preview of that in front of Avengers.
right.
I kind of like.
Kin is not on my list. I didn't see that one, but I did my normal systematic thing where I went through every movie that was coming out during this time frame, watched the trailer, and if it looked cool, I put it on my list.
Yeah, I will say, following your very solid list of last year, Carrie,
Yeah.
I decided to go with limited releases, which last year I didn't, and it was a mistake.
pay off?
It was
Oh,
a bad
no,
thing to not do.
terrible.
That. So I have followed your lead.
Okay, so maybe we'll have some overlap. Do you
I
think there'll be
don't think
overlap?
so.
No overlap.
Will there be
I
overlap?
think there might be, maybe.
Maybe I'm going to guess 1 to 3 overlaps.
One for sure.
Okay.
There's one film I'm pretty sure Rob and I will both have.
Okay.
And there's another one. If Carrie really did her research, it would be on her list.
Really? Mm-hmm. Are
So
you
we'll
going to
know.
tell me if I hit that one?
Yes, I will. I'll let you know later.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my number 1. This
5.
one, or 5, yeah.
5.
My first. I'm going to start with my first.
Yes.
Your most unanticipated.
My
of the
most anticipated of the 5 is one that's coming out on June 15th, and it's a movie called A Kid Like Jake. What? Have you heard of this one? Is it on your list?
I mean, in theory, I've heard of it because I also looked at the list of everything coming up, but it didn't register.
I have
But
no
it's not on
idea.
your list?
No,
No.
I have not heard of this.
So-
you're doing this again.
I'm not doing it again. I just did the thing where I watched lots of trailers.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're doing it again where maybe you're going to pick out, like, the Wind River that Tim
It
and I
could
missed
be.
or something like that,
It
which was
could
my
be.
favorite movie of the year.
I don't know. This one looks like it either could be really great or really terrible, like no in between. So let me tell you a little bit about it.
So, Book of Henry.
It is Book of Henry. Like, but if Book of Henry was better,
not shit.
it was better. I
What
didn't
is it?
mind it.
Can you give me the title again?
A Kid Like Jake. What concerns me is the casting for it a bit. But anyway, so it's directed by Silas Howard and written by Daniel Pearl. It stars Claire Danes and Jim Parsons, the guy from Big Bang Theory, who I love. And then Octavia Spencer's in this. And then I can't think of their son's name, but he's 4. Or play somebody that's 4 in the movie. So it's a couple living in New York are raising a little boy who...
Named Jake?
Could be, probably. He's more drawn to like princesses and dress up and like things like that rather than some of the traditional boy things that are out there. And so they're sort of like figuring out parenting and navigating that as they're like adapting on the fly. And so they try to get him into this private school, and they suggest that they focus on his gender identity to get him into the private school. And what?
Well, that's an interesting plot.
Well, it is. It is.
I get where either great or terrible is at play.
I know. And then I'm like, you know what?
Sounds like it could be the I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry of like, transgender child movies.
Yeah, but if it's not, it could be. So it's one of those, like, if this turns out to be really awesome and great, where it's like, how do parents evolve along the way with their kids? We're like, your kids are just who your kids are. You can't really do anything about it. And like, you have to evolve with them, and your marriage has to evolve, and your family has to evolve. Like, and if it's that, I'll probably love it.
Yeah, if it's just the comedy of them like playing up.
I don't think it's comedy, but I think it's dealing with it, and I think it's like figuring it out along the way.
If it's like an incredibly cynical comedy, I think it might even work as a comedy.
I think it's a drama.
If it's like actually the I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry of this, that would be bad.
I think it's a drama, but it still looked. And I'm also curious to see Jim Parsons playing as a gay man, a husband in this scenario. Like, I'm just curious to see how that's going to play out. Like, and I hope it's awesome and great. So that's why it's my number 5.
I hope it opens in Madison. That sounds like it might have a real tiny release.
I don't know.
Keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I will. So June 15th, it looks like it's going to come out.
Nice job.
Yeah, we'll see if it's good.
So I just want to quickly start my list with an honorable mention of a film that would have been my number 1, not merely for the summer, but for the year, if it had a set release date.
Uh-oh.
And that film is The Other Side of the Wind. It's Orson Welles' incomplete final feature, which Netflix has footed the bill to finally complete.
Pulled from Sundance?
Whole big thing about Cannes. Clearly, the intention was to premiere it at Cannes in May, open it in late May. No doubt in my mind that was the case. Now that Netflix and Cannes are being pissy little babies with each other, when does it open? I mean, in theory, it's done. In theory, they had it ready for a May release. So it could show up anytime. It could show up literally next week, in theory. I'm optimistic it's going to open in the summer, but I'm not sure, so I couldn't count it. But that would have been my number 1. Other Side of the Wind, the late Orson Welles' potentially final film.
Kara, we need to catch up on Little Orson. What's it going to be? Citizen Kane? You going to do it with me?
Yeah, I heard that's the best movie of all time.
I feel like
Tim
we need
said that.
I think we should see that before because we're going to have to see this now.
I'm not going to like Citizen Kane, though.
That's the most successful.
Citizen Kane was once called by Pauline Kael the most enjoyable of all the great movies.
Okay.
I think you might like it.
I think I would also push you guys towards Touch of Evil.
Yeah. Great opening.
I would not push
Long
you guys to F for Fake.
F for Fake?
It is a movie that exists and is good.
Okay.
So my actual number 5.
Okay.
Might be on my list.
My number 5, Tim already...
No, he hasn't done his number 5.
That wasn't your number 5.
That was
He's
not on my list.
It would be his number 1.
It should be your number 5.
Well, I can't put it on my list because it doesn't have a release date. That's why it's an honorable mention.
I see what you're saying.
So my actual on my list number 5 opens on June 22nd, and this is the, I believe, 3rd feature by director David Robert Mitchell. It's his follow-up to It Follows, and it is a film called Under the Silver Lake.
I saw this.
Not a horror movie.
Tell me about it, though.
I'm not sure what it's about. I saw David Robert Mitchell. I was like, he's going.
It's got to be good.
I believe it's like a sort of dramatic, romantic, possibly with overtones of thriller type of movie. It would have been higher just by virtue of being his next film after It Follows, except his prior film to It Follows was The Myth of the American Sleepover, which I have not seen. Not supposed to be very good. I've heard some pretty middling things about it. And it feels like he might be sort of in that kind of like character-driven story place with this one, Under the Silver Lake. So I'm wondering if maybe he's really good at horror and he's not good at other things, but I'm still like, It Follows was really good.
It's a good spot, number 5.
And I'm gonna,
That's your risk taker.
That's my risk
Do
taker.
you remember It Follows, Care? Passing the monster through.
Yeah,
through the duets?
Yeah, the
That
STD
was the
horror
worst.
movie.
No, it wasn't. It was like you passed along death.
You passed
right?
along death by having sex.
Oh.
It's the STD horror movie.
You're right. You're
Under
right.
the Silver Lake has a visual style that is very interesting to me. Like, I really like how it looks.
I haven't actually
on
seen the trailer yet. I've seen the poster. The poster's pretty.
And the plot, this is going to make you less like it less, Tim, but it makes me feel like Paper Towns, which I kind of liked.
Oh, with that cute little girl that
Where
was in
like she
there?
goes missing and he tries to find her.
Yeah.
Like, I like.
Right. So like a little romantic, a little thriller.
But like a more serious version.
I'm
of
guessing
a
this
John
is not
Green
this is
novel.
not a YA thing.
It's not going to be a YA.
It's got like adult actors.
What's
Yes.
a YA?
Young
adult.
Young
Oh,
adult.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say youth adult, but that doesn't make sense.
So you're just basing yours off of that you liked the poster, is what you just said, I heard?
I saw the poster
Yeah.
later in the game. I'm basing it off of the
That
fact
seems
it's,
legit.
It's the next film by the director of a film that I liked.
Okay.
My number 5 opens up June 29th. Tim is already disparaged by calling it Josh Brolin's not like box office worthy.
Sicario 12?
Yeah. Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Is that 3? Is this 3?
2.
Oh, it's only 2. Okay.
It's
It's only the second Sicario.
It feels
I know
like
it feels
more.
like there's been so many. Obviously, this one does not appear to have Emily Blunt anywhere near it.
Precisely. I hope
Yeah.
she shows up in like a post-credits cameo. It's like the Samuel L.
But
Jackson.
when you really think about it, like, I know she was obviously a big part of it and contributed to why I liked it so much. I don't remember your thoughts on it.
I
Tim.
love it, but
Yeah.
I think if you take Emily Blunt and her character out, I at most find it okay.
Yeah, but the whole thing about Sicario 1 was it wasn't really a movie about her. It was about Benicio del Toro. And this is going to be, I think, leaning more towards a little bit more on the action side of the house, which there was a lot more drama that I enjoyed about Sicario 1, but I want to see this man unleashed. And this one allows his character, basically the U.S. has decided to make a full-on war on drugs and consider the cartel's terrorists,
Okay.
and unleash Benicio del Toro on the cartels. And there's, I think, some
It's not going to be good.
back and forth that happens where Alejandro gets unleashed and then has to make some tough decisions. So we'll see how that plays out. But
Remember a few weeks ago when we did our unnecessary sequels episode and I said that my criterion was a concept that seemed so obviously daft and like, why on earth does that story need a continuation?
this
So Carrie, what's your number 4?
I'll go
number
to
4 to Carrie. I'll spot you that. I think I'm going to enjoy it.
You'll like it.
I mean,
But
it
you'll
might
be
be
the
an
only
enjoyable
one.
movie.
Yeah.
I don't know
I agree.
why in
It's
God's name we
unnecessary.
need a Sicario 2.
You and
We don't
every
need
other
it.
24-year-old and under boy will totally love that flick.
Not the
the
same
nuance-free version of Sicario.
It's not Denis Villeneuve, which automatically loses loses points.
And I don't believe Ty Sheridan is involved either. Or Taylor Sheridan.
I thought maybe he's just credited as
I think he's like the
for
producer.
the characters. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm losing a little spirit.
Let me give you, yeah. You want me to bring your spirit back up?
Give it to me.
I
Number
will.
4.
What if I told you that there was a movie coming out with Nick Offerman?
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Do you know who this is?
I know his name, but I can never place him.
I'll tell you who he is. I'd like some meat, please, and some scotch. Now, does that help?
Not even slightly. It made
No.
it worse.
This is the band movie, right?
What if
Yeah.
What if I had a mustache?
Oh, right. Him.
Yeah. I like that was the key. So
of Office fame?
of Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, sorry.
Parks and Rec. So
Same
Nick
show.
Offerman, who's my favorite man in the world from Parks and Rec, and then Kiersey Clemens is in this. Ted Danson, which is a little weird. Tony Collette, who I really like.
Tony Collette's really good.
She is. This is Hearts Beat Loud.
Hearts Beat Loud.
Comes out June 15th. It's directed by Brett Haley, also written by him, and it's just and really simple synopsis. A father and daughter form a songwriting duo. They're like I think the mom has passed away. They form a songwriting duo in the summer before she leaves for college. And like, I think it sounds like from the trailer, he was like a musician in the past, and it's probably one of those things that like he lost along the way. And so his daughter's a really great singer. And so the two, like sort of a little bit against her will, seem to like form this.
They write a song that,
they
like,
write a song
turns,
and it
like, on
turns into a
Spotify.
hit.
Like,
yeah, and like people really love it. So the clip is like him in a coffee shop. He's like, "This is my song. This is my song right here," and everyone, no one cares. Like, but at the same time, like it looks super cute and sweet, and I love him. And so if it ends up being that like smart, funny, like
It has a Juno
dry.
vibe. It has a Juno.
It had a Juno vibe,
Little Miss Sunshine,
and I love that
thing to it. That just screams Carrie. I think it looks pretty cute.
You're 2 for 2 on movies that I don't really think I'd registered existed. So I'm
And now
so
you have
far
to
impressed.
watch
Now I
them.
have to watch them
right along with
I'm
Overboard.
going to change mine to go like just straight European art films from here on out.
Yeah, it goes downhill from here. It goes definitely more mainstream where you're gonna be sitting, but yeah, that's my number 4.
Speaking of mainstream, my number 4 is Mission Impossible Fallout.
No,
My number 3.
Yep, July 27th, directed by Christopher
don't
McQuarrie.
put this on your list.
What?
I'm excited for it.
It's Tom Cruise.
Oh,
loved
he's
him
doing
in movies.
amazing shit. He's doing
No,
amazing things.
he's probably like dangling from some string.
He's flying
There's probably like
a
some.
helicopter into a truck.
This is so
Here's the
stupid.
thing. Like, I'm going to love it. My concern is this is the first time a Mission Impossible movie is directed by someone who's already directed a Mission Impossible movie, and that bums me out a little
yeah,
bit.
but it's McQuarrie.
But it's McQuarrie. I mean, Rogue Nation was a solid movie. Not as good as Ghost Protocol. Still my second favorite Mission Impossible.
The cast.
The cast. I mean, we got
got
all the people we always
Tom
got. Plus,
Cruise,
we got Superman with a mustache.
Henry Cavill.
Thank
the
you.
whole,
I was
the
like,
whole
Henry
reason
something.
Justice League
The whole
was
reason
ruined.
Justice League had its situation. It is a film I expect. I feel about this movie the way that I think a lot of people feel about Infinity War. It won't surprise me. I'm not one single thing that will happen in this movie is going to come
People
unexpectedly
will feel
to
like
me.
Infinity War surprised them.
People will not. I don't think. We'll talk
What
about
do you
that.
mean?
Yeah, well, that'll come later.
Oh.
But that's
Okay.
the thing. Like, I'm
Is,
going.
is
I-
the fight scene in the trailer, does that happen in a bathroom? I can't remember it. Is it a bathroom?
it's a tiled space. of some
Oh
sort.
man, I love bathroom fight
Hi,
scenes.
this is unexpected
Henry
for
Cavill-
me.
Is that like a genre? Is that like
I'm gonna do a move that no one can see, but like when Henry Cavill like adjusts his
really thin arms and he flicks them out there
'cause
and
he has
no
thick,
muscle.
Imagine his thick
mass
arms on my
whatsoever.
tiny body.
Okay.
And he's adjusting his.
I'm
thing,
also
like,
imagining
ready to
his
punch.
very luscious 70s porn star
Oh, he's
mustache.
got a
on
great
your
mustache,
scruffy little ass
and
face.
going toe to toe with the 5'7" Tom Cruise. Like it looks so good.
It's the thing. It's like it's a Mission Impossible.
I can't believe this is on
It's
your
a Mission
list.
Impossible. I love these
I
movies.
know.
I'm a
love
little
these movies.
surprised. I'm a little surprised.
Why?
I'm excited. I'm excited that this is on your
I
list.
am on record
That's a
as
Rob
being in a
pick.
Mission Impossible
That's a
list here.
Rob
I knew it would
pick.
be a Rob pick. I said
Yeah.
there was going to be one overlap, and I knew it would be this one.
So that
That
was
makes
your
it-
number 4?
That was my number 4, so it's Rob's number 4.
This is where I part ways with both of you.
Okay.
This is a sequel as well. Opening May 18th, directed by David Leitch. Atomic Blonde, Tim.
That's the only reason I have any hope for it at all.
This is Deadpool 2.
This is Deadpool 2.
Gary, you fell asleep because you were overserved.
I was
And
overserved.
the first one was a late showing of the original Deadpool, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. Had great action in it. I like the Cable character. I'm excited to see more Josh Brolin. And I'm excited to see where it takes it. If he can bring any bit of Atomic Blonde to this particular movie,
That's the thing.
I'm excited.
I think it is going to be better than the first one,
Yep.
which was not a movie I particularly liked.
They didn't give the first. I mean, the first one had a decent budget. This one, obviously, a lot more to work with. They can bring in some more characters and take the action up a notch. And David Leitch is the right guy to do it.
He is. I mean, that's the thing. I'm unreasonably optimistic about his presence, but not enough to
So
put it anywhere
you take
close to
his
the top
fight choreography and then add humor to it in a rated R setting. I'm in.
It's going to be good.
That's my number 4.
So let's go back to the overserved for a minute there. I wasn't really overserved.
How drunk were you?
I wasn't overserved.
We were in New York, Valentine's weekend.
It was Valentine's Day. It wasn't like just like a random
We did
Tuesday.
a wine pairing dinner.
And the lady said, it's a lot of wine. And I was like, well, I can handle
And a
a
10
lot of
o'clock
wine.
screening opening weekend.
And then
Deadpool.
I did do just the pairing. It wasn't like I was like out being a
It's
weirdo.
not like you had food. You just had the wine.
No, I had food with the wine. It was paired, but it was very strong wine. And so it wasn't like I was out of control. It just
Were
I
you just
fell asleep
like
during the
shotgunning
movie.
the bottle by the end of the dinner. Is that what was going on here?
They were unusually large pours,
They were
though.
good sized pours.
All right.
How did you stay awake? I don't
I have
even
no
know.
because it was a good movie.
I just remember like he was
We
like,
were in the back corner too, like
I know.
stadium style, like way back right, and still somehow managed to stay. It was hilarious.
Was it?
I loved it. Yeah.
would I have liked it if I saw it?
I don't know if it's your kind of humor.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think it is either.
it's your
Whenever I see
The
the
thing is,
previews, I always
there's-
think like that's kind of
It's a
stupid.
little frat boy.
There's
humor.
only
Yeah.
like 2 jokes, one of which is fuck, and the other one of which is I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
And
You're like, get
it's
a little more clever than that. I like a little bit more,
We get good with my remaining ones.
I mean, you could have at least used like British curse words.
I love British curse words. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'm a apologist for being a TJ Miller. I like TJ Miller's comic styling. I know it's not a popular.
It's not flattering.
It's not
now.
popular right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not popular right now. Is the one way of putting it?
Yes.
I mean, that would be like me saying,
bad?
you know whose stand-up I miss was Bill Cosby.
He called in a fake bomb threat for some reason.
I just saw
I'm
this.
not really sure the reason.
Who does
also
that?
Maybe
Assholes.
Yeah.
Giant
Asshole.
Yeah, apparently he's a
people.
big
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
But he's pretty funny.
Yeah, don't say that,
He's
Rob.
funny for a complete fucking asshole.
Yeah.
That sounds like it.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is definitely on Tim's list.
All right.
For
What about
sure.
mine? What about mine?
No, it's not. It's too classy for you. So this one comes out soon. Comes out on May 11th. It's called Life of the Party.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you were joking
It
when you
was.
said it would be on my list.
It was
This
a
is
joke.
on your list?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so
I feel
excited.
so bad that I was so confident that you wouldn't have anything worse than Overboard.
I love how
on your
you
list.
you pulled out your little piece of paper. You were checking, like, will it be on my list? No, it
Well, there's
won't.
a couple here that I think might potentially.
Maybe the next two. This one's Ben Falcone, and it stars Gillian Jacobs and Melissa McCarthy, who I love. Like, I think she's just the most fabulous thing that I've ever seen in my whole life.
Well, then pick her book movie where she's like
Book club?
No, faking to be a
Can you ever forgive me?
yeah. Can you ever?
That's a September release, I think.
So, yeah, I would have picked that.
Oh,
I
you
probably
would've
would
picked
have.
that,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because the thing is, I like Melissa McCarthy movies.
Oh, she's so good.
I mean, they're inconsistent.
In
The
like
one-
a great way, though.
The ones
Yeah.
with Ben Falcone, who is her husband, the one he directs, are by far the worst.
They're married? Who knew? So I'm going to have to look him up.
Well, you've seen Bridesmaids, yes?
Yes.
You know the pudgy air guy she like flirts
Mustache?
with? Mustache?
Yeah.
That's him.
That's Ben Falcone. Oh, I feel better about the fact that I pronounced his name correctly, too.
I actually have no idea.
Falcone.
Okay, you're
No,
copying
no,
off
I
of
have no
me,
idea.
which isn't
Why would
great
I
for
not?
you.
I don't
No,
know.
you should never do that. So, but let me tell you a little bit about this movie. So, Melissa goes out. Her husband asks for a divorce, like out of nowhere, and you're like, that's not great because you're
Biggest
already.
asshole since T.J. Miller right there.
Wait, who's TJ Miller? Wait, what?
Bomb
we were
threat.
just talking about.
Oh, TJ, sorry. Right.
Do you have memento disease? Is that
I
what just happened?
do. I have your
She has a
everything written
tattoo.
on my arms right now. See, I've seen that movie.
Yep.
So he's filing for a divorce. He doesn't want to be married. Who would want to be married to her? I don't even know, but he doesn't want to be married to Melissa McCarthy anymore. And so she has this little small crisis, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to college and I'm going to finish out my college degree. Well, coincidentally, her daughter goes to school there, and it's the relationship that they develop when she goes back to school and her daughter's in school there, and she starts to bag some babes while she's there. Of students
You know what
because
this
she's
reminds me of?
smoking.
Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. Same exact.
Is it so good?
plot?
Back to School is going to be the blockbuster history that weekend.
But was Back to School really good?
Are you really doing it?
I'm
Are
really
you-
doing it.
Nice.
Was Back to School good?
Wasn't that filmed in Madison?
I have no fucking idea.
You'll find out.
I
It
will
was
find
filmed
out.
in UW. It was filmed
Great.
at UW.
Was it good though?
I mean, it's an 80s movie, so I'm a sucker for
This
80s
one's going to be
nostalgia.
super cute because Melissa McCarthy's going to make it amazing.
I don't
and cute.
think Rodney Dangerfield bangs any college chicks.
One
in it.
hopes not.
Yeah. But it seems as though Melissa McCarthy may be banging.
Do you think
some
there's gonna be
folks
some
in the bookcase?
I
in the
hope
bookshelf?
Going to be
So-
some hard R-rated
I'm
footage
looking
of
for some
Melissa
cougar
McCarthy.
action in this one, and
Right.
I think it's going to be awesome. And what I like more about it is that you guys are going to both have to see it
I'm
because I
surprised by
picked
this
it.
pick. I feel like I get
Really?
to know you a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah. I
Oh,
would have
no.
picked you for that spy movie with Mila Kunis, but it could still be on
No,
there.
that wasn't classy enough. For
That's
me.
not
Movie with Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis and Kate.
It was
Oh,
called
The Spy Who
The Spy Who
That
Shit.
was
Like, yeah.
I would put that more, elevate that
No,
over this.
no.
In comedy. No?
I take
Okay.
Melissa over Mila Kunis any day.
as we all should. even in her
Exactly.
bad films.
Exactly. That's
All
my
right.
number 3.
Number 3 to you, Tim.
So my number 3 is also a comedy, maybe slightly different register than Life of the Party. This is Sorry to Bother You, which is opening on the 6th of July, directed by Boots Riley.
That was my number 6.
Well, then that does us no good.
So it means nothing.
Huge hit at Sundance, which I never trust reviews out of Sundance ever. But then I saw the trailer, and the trailer makes this look like
Yeah.
this really whacked out, like surrealist office politics comedy about Lakeith Stanfield plays a guy who gets a job at a call center, and keeps getting hung up on until he realizes that he can use his quote-unquote white voice to make
Just appalling. Oh, you haven't seen this? The trailer's amazing.
Like, trust him. So his white voice is played by Patton Oswalt.
It's not his own voice.
No, they're like there are several like notable white character actors playing the white voices.
That I did
black
not
characters.
know.
And then like after he starts using his white voice, I think Patton Oswalt's one of them. I think it's Lakeith Stanfield's. He becomes a huge success. Everyone in the office loves him, and it sort of goes into like what appears to be really weird territory from there.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for surrealist comedies. Right now, Lakeith Stanfield is like just popping up on my radar in a way that I'm very excited about.
So it's associated somehow with Get Out. Who did
Lakeith.
somebody?
Lakeith.
He's
the guy who is in Get Out, but not like the protagonist.
Right in the opening gets taken.
Oh, yes.
And then is later introduced in the party.
Yes, yeah.
Also, apparently a standout on Atlanta, which I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about him on that show. And he's in the recent Netflix original Come Sunday.
Yeah.
Where he plays very, very well a closeted choir director who's trying to reconcile his fundamentalist Christian beliefs with his homosexuality.
Yeah.
He's not the protagonist, but he's very good in it.
So who's the other black character that's in this movie? That's the one that's the mentor.
Oh, shit.
Well, Terry Crews is in this. I don't know if he's the mentor.
No. Is it Glover?
Yes.
And I think Danny Glover has Steve Buscemi's voice.
He did, so it's so amazing. So I didn't know that they had voice doubles until you're telling me this just now. And when I listened to the trailer, it's like, so they're talking along. He's like, you got to do your white voice, and then it's like snap, and he clips into this like super schmucky
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, voice, and you're like, what? How does he do that?
I mean, like, I was already on board with it from like just that part of the trailer because it looked really funny, but it goes into like Terry Gilliam territory. It almost looks like. So I'm super.
It looks good. It looks really good.
David Cross is the voice of Lakeith. This sounds
It looks
fun.
really good.
This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't have a number 3 tick.
That's
took
right.
Mine with
Oh,
Mission
yeah.
Impossible
So
Fallout,
we
which
swing back
I'm
over here.
excited to see Tom Cruise dangling from yet another structure.
We know you are.
Somehow.
We know you are.
I am
Superman.
excited to see him
Entiled.
leaning sideways out of airborne vehicles.
Yes.
So,
Bring me more of that.
speaking
Number
of
2 to
leaning
you.
sideways out of airborne vehicles, you might have this one. This is a possibility. This one comes out on June 8th. It's written and directed by Gary Ross.
This is my number 2.
It is.
Are you excited
about this?
I'm really excited about this.
Tim loves women.
I love women.
It just
That's
fell
what
off
it
my
is.
top 5. It was.
You just
my
don't
number
love
6.
women.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no.
Especially not 8 of them.
Spoiler, Ocean's 8.
Yes.
Ocean's 8. So this has everybody that you could ever want in your entire life that's a woman. So it's got Sandra Bullock. It's got Cate Blanchett. You tell me all the people I forget. Anne Hathaway's in this, right? Dakota Fanning. Olivia Munn. She's the best. Matt Damon. Also
not a woman.
in that movie. Rihanna's in it too.
Helena Bonham Carter is in this.
Keep going. Tell me some more ladies.
I mean, for me, like Cate Blanchett and a sack.
That was
of
all you
flour
needed
is
to
all
know.
we needed to know.
I know your Kate
But we have
thing.
we're missing at least a couple.
There's some people.
There's the office lady.
So you think about some...
Mindy Kaling.
Mindy Kaling, thank you.
Yeah, obviously Mindy's there. And
We
so...
got Rihanna, we got Anne, we got Helena Bonham Carter, we got Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah
Yeah, that's pretty
Paulson's the best.
Gary Ross, though.
I know. I get it.
What has Gary done that's
Crap.
not great?
He's not a good director.
He did Big People. So you...
No, Penny Marshall did.
Penny
Big.
Marshall did Big.
She also did that. What
He did.
Yeah.
So he did Pleasantville. He did Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit.
Okay.
And he did The Hunger Games 1.
Are you sure he didn't do?
I am
Okay.
1,000% sure Penny Marshall directed Big.
Also sure of that too. So
Here's the thing. Gary Ross is Soderbergh's boy.
Oh, is he?
He's like
'Cause, I mean,
Soderbergh.
the
So why didn't
trailers- the
Soderbergh
trailers
take
look
this?
very
That's my question.
Soderbergh-y.
Why didn't he take this?
Because
Is
he
it-
wanted to have Gary Ross direct it while he secretly just stood on set and directed it. I think
Oh,
that's-
okay.
I mean, I
Is
don't
that
know
what it is?
I don't know that Soderbergh actually has an official credit other than the story. I think he might be an executive producer or something.
It's framed and has a lot of like Soderbergh.
I mean, it's clearly
Shots.
Gary Ross doing a knockoff of Ocean's 11,
Yeah.
which, I mean, knockoff of Ocean 11 gets me
Who
in
wouldn't
the door.
take that? Yeah.
Knockoff of Ocean's 11 that has Kate Blanchett as Brad Pitt gets me running.
And Sandra Bullock plays George Clooney.
George Clooney's, specifically like his
Sister?
actual sister. Like,
His younger sister.
They reference in the trailer.
It
like,
is a
does it run in the-
spin-off.
Does it run in the family?
It does take place in the same universe as the Ocean's trilogy.
Yes. So she's supposedly the younger sister, and she goes off to again, same plot line, pulls off a heist at the Met this time, the Met Gala.
Met Gala.
So you're excited to see this?
Yeah.
We're going.
Fuck yeah.
Going
Yeah.
to theaters.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I would never miss this movie.
This is
Comes out on June 8th.
Yeah, June 8th. Looking forward to it. I mean, it's a heist movie. It's got a great
Ensemble
cast.
It's going to be that same vibe, I feel like, of the, briefcase, switch, the camera. We've shaded the camera. I feel like it's going to be that same vibe of Ocean's 11 that you love.
Also, I run hot and cold on Sandra Bullock, but based on some of her facial reactions in the trailer, I feel like this is going to be good Sandra
It's
Bullock.
going to be good. It's going to be Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock for you.
Well, we'll find out
don't
when
know
we
if
get to our
that's-
top 5
Sandra Bullock movies coming in a
will
few
be coming
weeks.
at some point.
So that's my number 2. And Tim's.
It's my number 2 as well.
Wow. So here's one that I actually have to thank Tim for. I was reading the comments on our site, which I rarely go on our site. No, I'm just joking. I
You go
on.
there every day.
But this is one that I had missed. And only after reading Tim's comment did I realize I need to have this on my list. This one comes out June 1st. And the reason why I missed it was I did not catch it in the theatrical releases, which apparently you were saying that it did. Hold the Dark. Jeremy.
Horrible news.
What the fuck?
It's gotten pushed
To when?
to sometime in the fall.
You're joking.
It doesn't really
You're
qualify.
absolutely joking.
It was part of Netflix's pissy fit. They still want to premiere it at a festival.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to
off the
have that, but
schedule.
it was off the schedule, Rob.
Ocean's 8 is now my number 6 or 5, and then everything gets moved up.
We can
Really?
talk
Is this your
about Hold the
number
Dark
one?
though. We'll talk about
No,
Hold
it's
the
my number
Dark.
2 because
Oh, number
Hold the
2.
Dark is Jeremy Saulnier.
That's the
I have
thing.
not seen any trailers because there aren't any that I'm aware of. But it's Jeremy Saulnier, Riley Keough, Alexander Skarsgård, Jeffrey Rush.
Is this the one you
or
think we
Jeffrey Wright.
both forgot?
Yeah, I thought you would have forgotten
the
this.
thing that I love about the fact that you only know about it because I commented on our site about it was my comment said, yeah, unfortunately Hold the Dark has gotten pushed to fall.
Rob doesn't really
I didn't read it. I just
No.
saw Hold the Dark. I was like, yeah, Jeremy Saulnier, Green Room. Jeremy Saulnier, Blue Ruin.
Yeah.
And that's all I
Oh no,
needed
I'm
to know.
totally looking forward to Hold the Dark, but
If it met the criteria, we would, Rob. Yes,
All
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
We can count that
We'll
as
talk
number
about it
2.
for fall.
Death after the deaths.
Yeah,
of
for
three
fall we'll
children
talk about it.
suspected by wolves. A writer is hired by the missing parents of a missing child to track down and locate their son in the Alaskan wilderness.
Sounds great.
Sounds like
really
Wind
good for
River.
fall.
You
yeah.
don't need to tell me this is a good sound movie, man.
Yeah,
It's a good
I
sound
will. I'll
movie.
put it on my fall list, man.
Damn it, Netflix.
I know Netflix is terrible.
This is screwing things up.
Both you and I got fucked by Netflix.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
mean,
would've had the wealth
I
picture.
researched. It's going to
God
make
damn
like
it.
$2 billion.
It's going to
So-
make no dollars because it's
That's
premiering
right.
on Netflix.
Ocean's 8 was my number,
Sure,
my
sure. So-
alternate.
So are you officially just going to upshift?
Write it
I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to upshift everything and throw in a little Ocean's 8 and Hold the Dark. Hold the Dark.
You're going to hold a spot for Hold the Dark.
hold a spot
on your fall preview.
for my fall. It's going to be on there. It's
Okay.
going to be on there.
All right.
Number 1 to you, Care.
Number 1 to me. I can't believe. I thought you guys were going to steal this
Maybe it's my
way
number
longer.
It's
one.
my number 1.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Really?
Has to be.
Oh, gosh. So even as I was typing the title to this, I started to cry.
Okay, then
Maybe not.
this is not my number 1.
No, it's not. And I'm crying right now. I was thinking about it. It's really sad. So my number 1 is coming out on June 8th. It's called "Won't You Be My Neighbor." Is it on your list?
Not at all.
No,
You guys are dicks. So this one's directed by Morgan Neville. This is the story of Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
He was like if I could have married somebody much better than Rob, I would have married Fred Rogers.
Well, there's probably other people, but sure.
the man with
I
the
think
yellow
there's
hat.
a lot of people in between Mr. Rogers. and Rob.
No. My first was Fred Rogers. My second's the man with the yellow hat.
John
from
Krasinski's in there.
John Krasinski's third after the man with the yellow hat, and then
Pratt.
fourth is. You know my list.
I know your list.
Fourth is
They're
Chris
on the
Pratt.
pass,
Yeah,
they're on
yeah.
the pass list. Like
Yeah.
if you ever encounter
Well, the good
them,
news
you
about
get-
your pass list is that one of them is dead and one of
Don't
them is a
tell
cartoon.
me that though.
Spoiler alert, Fred
Spoiler-
Rogers is dead.
That's so sad though. I'm I haven't accepted it fully. So this is supposedly the documentary of his life, and it's the exploration of his life, the lessons, the legacy of like why he chose to be who he was, and like why he chose to create the show that he did. And so I loved him as a child.
I just gotta say, I feel really terrible that I didn't. I mean, I know it's my job to keep you guys abreast of when movies happen. This movie played at the Wisconsin Film Festival in Madison.
Did you see it?
No, but it played in Madison because I knew it was going to open. So I was like, okay, well, I'll see when
it's
opens.
okay. It's okay. I think it's one of those where like if there's anything that you can learn from anybody in life, I feel like it's from Fred Rogers on like how not to be a dill hole.
I surprisingly did not watch. Did you watch Tim?
What is your fucking problem?
Yeah. That's why we're like
is this
really
why you turned out this way?
It might be. Like
Minus is what Fred wouldn't swear like Tim, but other than that, Tim's like a nice person.
I feel like Fred would not judge me for
It was
swearing.
a little creepy for me.
Because he would know it's part of your identity.
He like comes in the door, takes off his sweater.
Bite your tongue over
that was
there.
always it was so nice. It's like
so nice.
He's like unwinding.
And he had in-house shoes. Rob hates when people wear shoes in the house.
He's demonstrating self-care.
Please.
Self-care is so important.
He's putting on his cozy shoes and his cozy sweater.
When you walk into another person's house, please put on slippers or take off your shoes.
Fred Rogers does that.
I know he does.
Well, it's his house, though.
It is his house, but he would do that anywhere. He would do that anywhere.
If you asked him to, he would.
Yes, please take off your shoes.
Yeah, his wife is going to be in this too. Joanne Rogers in this. Yo-Yo Ma's in it.
So the thing I've heard about this is, for those who are a little worried about learning something about Fred, I've heard
I already listened to every documentary. Yeah,
there's nothing that you learn.
There's nothing you could ever learn about Fred Rogers that's ever terrible.
So don't let that discourage you, because I know that I've heard people say like, I don't want to watch it because I might learn something that I don't want to know.
No.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm not super excited for it, I think it's going to be a fluff piece.
Yeah, I think it's a little boring.
When you say fluff piece, his whole life was fluff because he's perfect.
But like, there's like a story of Fred Rogers that like is, you know, a psychological and like philosophical text, and then there's the like, we all love Mr. Rogers. Look at his puppets. The end. And like that's kind of what I fear this might be.
I actually think I've heard the alternate. I've heard it goes into a little bit more depth into like what like his actual origin story is. It's just that he is perfect, and so you're not going to get anything you don't want to hear, is what I've heard.
Sure.
I'm surprised, Tim, by your list so far. What's your number one? Because
So my number one.
There's two movies I could see falling here.
My number one was the one that came inked in. Like as soon as it got a summer release date, I was like, okay, well that's taken care of.
Okay.
We have now covered, I believe, every film currently scheduled to open on June 8th. Because my number one is Hereditary.
That's the one I was between that and my number
stupid.
one. And it does not look it looks scary.
It looks scary as balls.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Oh, Hereditary. Oh, the ghostliness is genetic. Like, it's going to be so dumb.
I mean, I get that it's not going to be as sophisticated as Life of the Party.
But how
where Melissa McCarthy gets drunk and bangs dudes.
We all have needs, okay?
And my need is to be...
I got to get to the quad.
I have two
we don't
needs.
call that a quad.
This is your number one.
This is my number one.
Wow.
I have two needs.
Oh
one of my needs is to have the shit scared out of me. And I think I might have to change my pants. My other need is for Toni Collette to be the lead in every movie, and she's the lead of this movie.
Yeah.
And
she's scary, man.
Can I say that I'm most bummed out characters now we have to see this, and I kind of swore this movie off because I was a little worried I'd be too scared.
why
Rob
on
pooped his
earth would
pants.
you not assume this would be on my top five?
I knew it would because the witch
I did not
The
think
witch
it
was
would.
The witch
film I
was.
adored, and this is giving me like some serious witch vibes.
I'm not even scared. It's going to be like,
it's gonna be-
it's weird. I'm haunted. I'm haunted because my mom was haunted, and it's not going to
We
be
will
scary.
never forget this movie. Damn it.
Rob pooped his pants on Babadook.
Babadook is scary.
Babadook is a
That's
good
serious. It's a book. Ooh,
it's a good pants
It's a really
pooper movie.
scary
The
book.
Babadook
Like,
is a movie that I hold dear to my heart, and you need to.
you
stop
guys, it's not
talking.
that scary
It
though.
is exactly that scary.
I mean, I knew what was going to happen.
What's scary is moms who kind of want to murder their children. That is scary.
Yeah, it's not that scary when you know what happens in the end of that movie, and I won't tell you what. But there's some.
And just the meticulous nature.
She doesn't murder her child because it's a movie.
Of carving the little, like, something so weird about that.
And it got like spiritually good reviews out of Sundance.
Yeah.
Like
looks good.
critics basically saying like this movie has rejuvenated my faith in genre cinema. So like I'm excited.
God damn
I'm
it.
We'll
thrilled
see.
this
I was
movie's
hoping
I'm
I could
excited to
avoid
see
seeing
it.
this
I just
movie.
wouldn't want to have it on my list. You know.
This movie is my number one with a bullet.
What should be on your list, what would have been on Mr. Rogers' list, Care?
Tell me.
At number one.
What is
I don't know
it?
what the hell. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you both? Tim, you in particular.
What is it?
June 15th, The Incredibles 2.
Oh.
You're an animated.
The trailers do not make it look interesting.
Is it because you're not?
It was on my list for
you
ages.
don't believe in empowering women to
Yeah, that's right.
take over
That's
the workforce?
exactly no. Like it was on my list for ages, and then the trailers came out, and the first trailer was like, okay, well that looks a little bit like a retread, and then the new trailers in front of Avengers,
Yeah, we saw.
literally is the reason it's not on my list at number 5 because it got like knocked down a few
I've
pegs.
just been waiting 14.
Rob wants to be a
14
stay-at-home dad,
years.
and that's why.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Rob's really into it.
It's
Although
just like the Mr. Mom, yeah. The lost girl has to go back and kind of take
own
care of
the
business.
yeah, own everything. So
Brad Bird.
Brad Bird.
Yeah, Brad Bird.
did he do? He did one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did one. He did Tomorrowland,
Don't say that.
which is why he's
Did
doing The Incredibles
John
2.
Carter? Did you do John Carter?
No, that was
that's a different
So
Pixar
John
person.
Carter was oh my God, Finding Nemo director. Why can't I not think of his name?
Shit.
Andrew Stanton.
Yes.
So
Nice.
Stanton did John Carter and got punished by having to make Finding Dory, much as Brad Bird did Tomorrowland and got punished by having to make The Incredibles 2.
it's gonna be
it's gonna
good.
be good.
It's gonna be good.
Cars is the
Well, it's going to be better than Cars.
It's going to be better than
3.
Cars.
Jesus,
The
That's
Cars
not-
sequel.
That's not up
But
for
that's like
debate.
the only knock on sequel. I know you're not a Finding Dory fan.
I'm not a Finding Dory fan or a Monsters University fan.
Yeah, I'm not a Monsters University fan, but The Incredibles 2 is my favorite Pixar movie.
Here's my extremely narrow thing.
It's my
that
number
the-
7.
The last trailer, the specific thing that the trailer I saw in front of the Avengers sort of killed for me. These character designs were meant to have like a sort of level of lighting technology applied to them. Like they're very weirdly stylized characters. And the lighting looks too good and it calls attention to how weirdly angular the characters are. And that bothers me a lot.
Yeah, that really
Because, yeah,
bothers
Too
me
much.
too.
Too much.
Because that's the way my head works.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I'm
Like, oh,
sorry.
they're so
I'm sorry
angular.
that the lighting isn't as delicate and sophisticated as it will be on Melissa McCarthy.
It will
in
be.
Life of the
It
Party.
will be. You're gonna like see her cheekbones. They're gonna be like really accented. Her T-zone.
Well, every week we ask you to share your picks and thoughts for a chance to win a free Amazon movie rental based on the results. Here are your top 5 picks. Tied for number 5,
Okay.
Ocean's 8.
Yes.
And Tim, a movie that you've seen, I can't remember what your thoughts were. First Reformed, I think we were positive.
Very positive.
Yeah.
I debated whether it would be disingenuous to put it on my list because I do think it has a shot at being better than at least a couple things on my list. But if I hadn't already seen it, I would not be in any way excited for it. So I felt like, well, that would be a lie.
Ethan Hawke, Priest.
Ethan Hawke, Priest.
Yeah.
That's on there?
That's
Nah,
what First
I don't
Reformed
like
is.
priests.
Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader
Taxi
film.
Driver.
The writer of Taxi Driver.
Writer of Taxi Driver. Number 4, another Tim pick, Under the Silver Lake. Folks
Right.
excited about that.
Tim's been copying.
Number 3, Mission Impossible Fallout,
Sure,
rightfully
sure.
so.
Losers.
Number 2, Hereditary.
Losers.
So far lining up.
Sounds like the list was made up of
Who
my
doesn't
regular
like Won't Me
readers.
Be My Neighbor?
And at number 1,
Won't You Be My
finally,
Neighbor?
people having some common sense. The Incredibles 2. Much like me, excited to see what happens after 14
Everyone
years.
has to go out and see Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Well, I mean, I'm planning on seeing it.
I
It's
know.
not necessarily.
Do you think you'll cry? Do you feel like you'll cry? Yeah, you will.
It's probably,
Yeah, I will too.
especially if they have like footage from his deathbed.
Oh, do you think they will?
I doubt it.
I hope, not. No.
Maybe his funeral though.
And
can't go there.
our lucky winner this week, CRD, listener CRD, who had The Incredibles, Hereditary, Black Klansman, which I had
That
not-
was actually very close to being on my list. That's the new Spike Lee film.
What else does he have?
Crazy Rich Asians, which I've
Shoot,
heard is
no,
really,
I don't have that one.
I've heard good things. And Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
CRD, shoot us an email at contact@alternateending.com for details on how to claim your free Amazon rental. If you want to win a free movie rental like CRD, be on the lookout for a spoiler or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter. Share your favorite picks. In closing, I want to thank everybody for listening. Go out to social media, check out our Facebook page and like it. Twitter, we're tweeting all the time, alternateending.com, where you'll find all of our movie posts, reviews, blogs, more. And go out to our podcast on iTunes and Google. Leave us a review. I understand that we have a review that Carrie is scrambling right now to to get so that we can share with the world.
No.
We found out something recently. Apparently, the U.S. reviews are not blended with the world reviews, so you have to go like a separate site. So we had some new reviews come through the site.
So
that
yeah,
we weren't
there's a
aware
lot
of.
of. We didn't realize there were a bunch of them were coming in from like the UK and Australia. So on the fly, so I read this particular review multiple times, and I stumbled, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it to Tim without having pre-read it and see if he can read it without stumbling in the way that I did?
Well, let's find out. So this is a review from The Concise Statement, who is a regular commenter on the site, and I believe is actually one of the previous winners of our
That's
movie,
right.
our movie giveaway. This is posted March 26, 2018. Exceptionally funny Iannuccian clash of characters masquerading as a humble film review podcast. I like it.
I knew you would like this.
3 reasons to subscribe. 1, after an aperitif of summarizing recent viewings of the program, the program switches to its, he spells program like a Brit, because he is, switches to its main feature of great films we all need to see before we die, typically in the form of the 3 hosts arguing for their top 5. Life of the Party is not a movie you need to see before you die.
You do.
Indeed, seeing it might accelerate your death. Whatever the theme, your watch list is about to grow exponentially, mostly out of a sense of shame being triggered by missing a cinematic milestone. 2, the chemistry between the 3 leads is superlative, better than any other podcast in this genre, which each of their personalities representing a recognizable demographic. Despite cinema being well over 100 years old, like many filmgoers, everyman Rob Jarosinski has to be persuaded to watch material released prior to 1980.
It's true.
It's very true. Twisting his arm is hilariously frustrated, foul-mouthed intellectual and geyser of innuendo Tim Brayton of the legendary Antagony and Ecstasy review blog.
True.
Who functions
Also follow
as
mouth.
a real-life Noah Baumbach archetype on steroids. There's a thing, actually, I think you might have tweeted about it, that people who have a really nasty mouth are probably more honest and more smart.
I don't know about the latter,
Not
but
smart enough to say
I
smarter,
feel like
but more smart.
You were really honest, though.
Who functions as a real-life Noah Baumbach archetype on steroids with a cinephile's encyclopedic knowledge in tow. As is customary for academics, his contrarian bent finds him drawn to aspects of the art form that would repel most regular viewers. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. While proudly shunning rote workmanlike tropes such as content. That is very true. I do not like
know
content.
you don't like
find
content.
plots to be very troublesome.
Terrible.
And the standout is the...
It's me. It's me.
This is why you wanted me to read it.
I know.
You wanted me to have this moral crisis. The standout is the
It's
irrepressible spirit of casual viewer and Rob's spouse, Carrie Jarosinski, who gets 1,000,000 points for effort.
I do. I
And then
try.
proceeds to incinerate those 1,000,000 points as she reliably doubles down on some catastrophic factual error, but always bolstered by charm. A John McClane grade of indefatigable.
What does that mean? John
McClane is the protagonist of Die Hard.
But what does that mean if I have a John
It
McClane
means you
what?
won't give up. A John McClane degree of indefatigability. Which
Okay.
means you'll just keep on going.
Okay.
You're just going to trench in. You're
Just
not
try-
going to let anyone knock you out
Cut
by
me
saying
down,
things like
no.
Overboard looks like molten
Yeah.
ass, because it does. And a heart of gold to balance out Brayton's craving for pessimism. I don't think I'm a pessimist. I think I'm adorably cynical. Go straight to the end of the top 5 heists episode to witness the extent. That's a good episode. To witness the extent of her anarchic glee and bending the program format to her will, thus providing a moment in film criticism that could comfortably rank in a revised edition of their own top 5 twists. Put simply, you won't believe what happens. So yeah, the heist episode's a good episode.
That was a good one.
3, sustained and rewarding engagement with the fan community across their site and social media, which I feel I need to be better about, and I will once the school year is done, but Carrie's excellent at it. Including frequent shout-outs to comment sections and the chance to win their weekly contest. The number of times I've gained more net enjoyment from absorbing these 3 very different brains grapple just with the criteria for the movie selections versus watching actually anticipated theatrical releases is frankly alarming. Plus, it's free and on a weekly basis. Unmissable. Well, thank you, The Concise Statement.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was like the nicest review.
It is too nice.
You did not stumble on any of those very large words.
Indefatigability caused me
That
some-
gotcha.
some
Yeah.
trouble.
No, I wasn't going to call that out, but yeah, you failed there a little bit. But
Yeah, well.
you know,
Appreciate the kind words, and despite Tim's and my feelings on this particular movie, with Life of the Party hitting theaters and Mother's Day just around the corner, we're going to look at our top 5 mother-daughter movies.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll catch you then, and stick around on Patreon if you're interested in if you've seen the Avengers. We're going to be spoiling that, talking a little bit more about that. We'll catch you next week.